Hi friends, it's Lola and I'm back with another episode of Colors as Human series. And today we're going to draw blue. As you can see, today's video's formatting is a little bit different. If you're new here, I used to show the screen recording of my drawing instead of filming myself draw like this. I think this way is kind of better because you can see my hand and what I do with the iPad instead of just seeing the screen recording. Even though I have the setting where you can see my brush with the recording, but it's quite hard to see and follow where my brush is at comparing to seeing my hand holding the pen and draw. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and if you prefer the screen recording, please let me know in the comments and I will revert back to that instead. So here's the checklist of what I think blue would look like. I think she would be someone who is calm and collected, and her hair will be blue obviously and wavy because I think of ocean waves, if that makes sense. Since she's blue, she should have peaceful eyes, which you can kind of see here from the sketch, and because she's so calm and chill, then I think her clothes should be comfortable and casual. I'm pushing her hair a little to the side here to mimic the wind blowing her hair. It's my attempt to give this painting some kind of cool air feeling when you look at it. Hope it works. As I'm working on the sketch and adding more details, I flip the canvas once in a while just to make sure that I got the proportion right and make sure that she doesn't look weird and stuff. This might sound dumb, but I think having her eyebrows raised just a little bit make her look more relaxed and chill. I hope you see the same thing. Now that we have our sketch done, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the flat colors in. I like having these in separate layers, as you can see here. I know that there's a lot of professional artists that I follow suggest that having less layers are better. I don't disagree with them, but I'm not used to it because I've been doing this for 2 to 3 years now, and it's kind of hard for me to adjust. I mean, when I do grayscale to color, it's usually less layers than this. I went ahead and worked on the background before I move forward to the shading part, just for me to have a better idea of how the shading would be because it is affected by the background a lot and the lighting as well. After this step, I alpha lock the face layer and start roughly shading her face with a flat brush. I went with the color slightly darker than her skin tone to go over the basic shading first. Then I go ahead and select a darker shade to go over the part of the face where there are more shadow. So usually I would finish shading the face first, or almost finished to be exact, before going to shade the other parts of the face like the eyes here, but I got a little impatient. Then I went back to the skin layer and import the reference in to the canvas so it's easier for me to color pick to get a more accurate shade and tone for the drawing. So as you can see, this reference that I picked has very harsh lighting, and normally the color are not just simply a darker shade of the same color, but is usually in different hues. Like the shadow would be a cooler tone than the skin, but at some part it will be more of a warmer tone. And for where the nose is, where they have like harsh lighting shining on it, it would be a vibrant red/orange color. So in this case, it would be better and less challenging for me to start with grayscale and then color it after, so I can focus on the value and the shadow of the drawing first before thinking about the color. Now I'm zooming into each area of the face and start doing more detail shading for it instead of just big blocks of shading like earlier. I also go to different parts of the face, like different layers, and start adding more details and shading for it. And I was also adding lashes here. Usually I would wait a little bit more to start doing the highlight, but as I'm working on the eye, I was very tempted to just add the highlights right here, even though it would be more of a later stage, usually after I draw the eyebrows. As I'm doing this, I'm also slowly reducing the opacity of the sketch layer so I can see what I'm shading. In the end, I would not be using the sketch layer at all, it was just a guideline for me. Now that the face is relatively done, I went ahead and moved on to her body and neck. Halfway through this, I kind of feel like the face is missing some shadow, so I go back to it and add a multiply layer on top just to retouch it a little bit. Basically, I kind of go back and forth between layers as I'm working on this drawing, because when other parts of the drawing are being shaded, you would realize what's missing on the parts that you already shaded, if that makes sense. Okay. I then move forward to work on the hair to keep my eyes off the skin for now. I temporarily turn off the background layer so I can see the hair a little bit better because the hair color is kind of similar to the background. I'm doing that so I can paint the silhouette of the hair before locking the layer and start shading. With a hairbrush, I blocked out the big shadow first and then use a darker shade with my hairbrush and start going over the darker shadow part. I also use the smudge tool with hairbrush as well to smudge over to create the hair stroke. If you're interested in how I draw hair, you can watch my videos here where I explain way more detailedly about this. And then after that, on a separate layer, that's where I create my highlight. I also add some messy hair strands like the tiny hair that you can see here, because her hair is blowing on the side, so it looked messy and there should be some loose hair flying around. It looks more natural and effortless this way, kinda. It makes the hair less stiff, especially when it's in the wind. Now moving on to the clothes. This part is like just me adding more details on the shirts and the top, and then going back and forth with her skin and fix it a little bit more. When I think I'm almost done with the drawing, I exported it without the background and import it back in, and then start using the Lofi tool, flipping the canvas around to fix the painting again. After that, I can add some extra details if needed. I then also add more highlights for her just to make it pop a little more. I decided to give her this pretty fun eyeliner. I think it fits her well and it looks very nice on her. I don't know much about makeup, but I think it looks good. So I hope you guys think the same way. And well, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoy it. I hope you like how blue turns out. And I'm not sure if I should do more of Colors as Human series. If you're still interested in this series, please let me know. And if you have any suggestion for any kind of new series maybe, please let me know as well. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye!